Hi, I'm Dave Crane, and welcome to the Turbocharge Your Career 5-Day Challenge. Now, you are probably looking at this and saying, I thought it was 30 days. No, you probably worked out as well. 30 days is far too long. This is the concise, this is precise, and this is a very powerful way of doing it. 5 days, and it's all there. I'm going to be explaining to you what it's all about and telling you about a special exclusive gift that you get as a direct result of being part of this group. Meanwhile, if it's the first time you've come across us and you're not actually in the group yet, this is how you join us. I'll just make this slightly bigger. Get your phone, hold it up to the QR code, or take a screenshot of this. Press the button and it will take you directly to our WhatsApp group. It's absolutely free and we want to be able to help you to be able to join us for this incredible event. Now, first of all, before you start anything, thank you so much for upgrading yourself. Upgrading means stepping up on every single level, your personal development, your branding, your positioning. Just by being in this group for free, you are already thinking about things differently and you're already learning so much. That's why we've got 200 people. The numbers have gone up since the last time we did it about a month ago, and then going to keep going up with the 5-day challenges that we have going forward into the future. And if you want to add some friends, by the way, you can do at any point, but ideally you want to get them in at the very beginning, so I would suggest you add them straight away. Okay, so today's session is really to tell you all about what we've got lined up for the 5 days. It's business storytelling. If you're not sure what business storytelling is, it's a really powerful way of getting your message across to people that doesn't just involve mentioning facts and figures and so on. Most people will talk about stuff in terms of, yeah, we're really successful. We've got a 50% bigger ROI as a direct result of what we did last year and blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is nobody cares. And also, it's really hard to remember unless you're massively number orientated. But if you think about the fairy tales that you were told when you were a child, you still remember them. When people tell stories, then you remember because telling you the facts and figures lights up about two parts of your brain. Telling you all the things that get you emotionally involved and make you have suspense and worry and get excited, that lights up about 7 different parts of your brain. That's why we remember stories so much better. But when you put them into a business context, they become even more powerful because they're a great way of getting your case studies of what you've done and how you do it, and successful events with clients and unsuccessful ones as cautionary tales, and sharing them with people who will then not only interact with you and do business with you, but be able to share those ideas with other people without you being there because we just remember stories better. Now, this 5 days is a taster. It's a taste of what we do in the Industry Icon program. It's deliberately done as bite-sized chunks, so for about 10 minutes maximum each day, you can do the exercises, you do them in WhatsApp, and you share them with everybody. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you how much you put into it. But if you do share them with everybody, you get comments, and you also get support from everybody in the group as well. And you make some great contacts because you can become very visible as a direct result of doing stuff in there. So, what are the benefits of business storytelling? Let me tell you first of all. When you start doing business storytelling, the impact is that you become more inspirational. You can move and inspire your teams and stakeholders, shareholders, investors with compelling stories. They want to become close to you because the narrative is so fascinating. Similarly, you can persuade people better when you influence decisions. If you tell a story that helps them go, actually, that really affects me as well. You touch their emotions and they want to do more with you. Also, on top of that, you get better engagement. After a while, people zone out. Their attention span is tiny, but they'll do a lot more when you've got relatable tales and telling the people about the stuff that you've done so they can identify and think, maybe that's what I need to do as well. It positions you as leader. Of course, leaders tell great stories because they've got ownership of what it is that happened. But the ownership doesn't mean it has to be your story. It could be somebody else's. But the fact that you delivered it means that people say, wow, you must know your stuff. And that's what they think about, especially when you start talking about business. They position you personally as that leader. It means when you go to selling, you can sell products, you can sell services, you can sell your ideas much more effectively because when you've got a compelling story about how you've done it in the past and the impact it had for other people, people say, you know what, I want some of that as well. It's great for your branding. Think about the fact that when you hear stories being told, think about how newspapers work, magazines, headlines, online, offline, even movies, TV shows. People talk about it, they love the stories, and they always get you to identify with the person at the heart of it. They'll ask you if you know the actor or the character, and then they'll tell you what happened to them. Well, in business, that branding is all about you. So strangers get to hear about you and they think, maybe I should contact that person as well. They don't often think, maybe I should find somebody else, because they want your story. They've heard it. They want direct access to you. Next up, it creates trust. Without trust, you don't sell anything. Without trust, you don't create great business relationships. You get credibility, and that's what people end up buying. Authenticity is what they want, and a story that tells the truth is something really effective for that. Okay, number 8, you create a network. As people talk about things, they start looking for you online and offline, but especially in places like LinkedIn. And they just connect with you. They look for you to see if you're authentic with what it is that you've created, and then that makes them want to do more business with you and certainly comment and share your stuff because it positions you as a great thought leader. Adaptability. You can navigate changes and crises by telling stories. You can say, this is a challenge for us right now. Who wants to help? Or we did this before and we found that something came up. Is anybody in a position that can help us with this? And people identify with it, even on your branding, even on your conversations. And last but not least, success. People love a success story. What it does is when people talk about how well you've done, they want to be associated with you. Think about why you have such fascination with people like Richard Branson. Why would you like Richard Branson? Why would you like Steve Jobs? Why would you like Elon Musk or any of those people that are viewed as some of the biggest hitters of our lifetime? Well, because even if you might not like them personally, you can't argue with the success stories of what it is that they've created. And that's why you need to have stories that are going out all about you as well. So with that, let's look at the schedule. It's basically very simple. 5 days starting on Monday, the 3rd of July, going on every single day, and then a webinar to get all the bits pulled together and to give you some tips and tricks and insights that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And also, we're talking to you in depth about the Industry Icon Program and how you can really move your game forward faster. I think the webinar is going to be on a Friday night of the final day, but we'll just have to double check, and I'll let you know as you're part of that package and as you're paying attention as we go on through the 5 days as well. Okay, so why do all this? Well, you have to ask this question of yourself. What does society value most? It's very simple. Status. It's a status game. The more you're positioned at the top, the more that people want to identify you with you, do business with you. If you're at the bottom of the status game and people don't value you, they're never going to want to work with you. But there are lots of hijacks, lots of ways of tips and tricks and insights and tools and ways that you can really up your game. Because society values you for dominance, the positioning you have as being brilliant at what you do. Success, proven track records that say, look, I've done this for a long time. Look how well I've done. And also the virtue, the truth, your ability to turn around and say, I know what I'm talking about. I live and breathe this, and I have done for a long time. That positions you as an expert in what you do, and you'd be surprised how quickly that ups your game. My clients find that this turns them from wherever they are into 6- and 7-figure earners as a direct result of just becoming an industry icon. So if you're still thinking, right then, Dave, who are you? Let me just tell you who I am then. Because positioning is everything. The more that people can identify with you and being at the top of your food chain, the more they have the certainty and the trust that they want to work with you. And I constantly, if you read any of my stuff that goes onto social media or watch any of my videos, I'm telling stories. Even if sometimes they don't look like stories, there's always a structure to making it happen that has a call to action inbuilt if it's not explicit at the very end as well. And that's what I teach people how to do when they become industry icons. And within our group, on the WhatsApp group, there will be a number of our industry icons and game changers within that group. Now, if you're wondering what does that mean, tell us more about the actual journey that these people go through. Let me share this with you very quickly. So when you're an industry icon, there's a couple of things that you go through. And there's 4 different stages that this includes. So first of all, there's awareness. Number 1, I need to do something. I need to up my game. I need to be better at what I do. But it might not mean you know actually what it is. But there's steps for taking care of that. Then you aspire to being bigger and better. You say, I want to be like that person over there. Maybe there's nobody in your industry who shows you how powerful that could be. But you're thinking already, no, I still want to get there. I don't know what it is, but it's something powerful. That's number two. Then number three, we put together a way for you to drive forward. Imagine packing a car full of all the things you need for a big long journey and setting off on that incredible adventure. That's what we do. Then you've got to reposition yourself. What does reposition mean? Well, if you're heading off at a map and you look at the directions and you find you're going really well, but slightly off target, you need to take a left here and go down that street instead, and so on. Then that allows you to position yourself better. That means you might find out that with your target audience, as you start growing your brand, that your target audience isn't over there. There's a different one over there. You need to really define who they are. And then we go to number five, that's refining your products. You might have a lot of stuff you throw to see what sticks, but then you realize when you go through everything, there's certain things that your audience values and they will pay for and they love. So get rid of all the other stuff. You just focus on that. And then finally, when you get to the very end, you are owning that space as an industry icon. Your name becomes a verb. And people say, wow, that's amazing. Now, when we start talking about the importance of being an industry icon, it really falls in with the whole point of talking about business storytelling. Because business storytelling means that when you are positioned as a really high authority or a thought leader, whatever you say, people will tell others. They'll tell that story. Yeah, I was watching a video with Dave Crane who was talking about the important thing that society values. Every society, anywhere across the world, sees your status as the number one thing. And all the money and all the fame and all the different things that people see as the trappings all go towards lifting your status. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are, that's key. See how that works as a story? That's what we're going to be teaching you how to do over the next couple of days. Now, with the Industry Icon program, we go through lots of different things on an ongoing basis to allow you to earn lots of cash and up your game and to really position yourself and your business as really effective. I won't go through this particular slide, but I may describe more about it if you join us on the webinar too. So to upgrade your game, as we go through the 5 days, if you say, I want to step up now, Dave, then all you need to do is get your phone, hold it up to this QR code. I'll go a little bit bigger here and take a shot of that. You can take a screenshot of it right now or just instantly go to it now. There's a number of different upgrades that will allow you to be able to step up, including details about Industry Icon, the initiative and the mentoring, and also the game changers and various other programs that we have lined up for you. Okay, so you can also book your consultation session with me once you start the course. If you're interested in these particular areas of the upgrades, get in before everybody else. And I'll be able to share with you complimentary in a 15-minute chat about where you're missing out and where you should really step up your own personal game based on what you do. And I can guarantee that it will be a number of things that you haven't thought about because sometimes you're too close to yourself to be able to work out where you truly need to be. Okay, so the rules of participating in the challenge are easy, but they are set in stone. So here we go. First of all, engage actively. Participate in the tasks and discussions and challenges. The more you get into it, the more you will get out of it. It's that simple. Always respect others. Treat all members with respect and kindness. I do rule this with a bit of an iron fist, I'm afraid. If anyone does disrespect somebody else, I do kick them out because I can't have that. Everybody in there has spent their time and their energy, and you might disagree with them, and I often disagree with people. It doesn't mean they don't have a right to say it or the right to actually put their points out there unless it's going down certain rules of talking about things that are really offensive, as you can probably guess what they are. Confidentiality, what is shared in the group stays in the group. No screenshots, none of that stuff. Just literally be there, share what you want. And if you don't want to share anything, don't. Lots of people just watch it and enjoy it and get a lot out of it and do it in their own time. That's fine as well. Do not spam. Do not share your company business, your new promotion, your new website, unless it's asked for. I do ask you numerous times to share your LinkedIn, which right now you can do if you're inside the group. But each day, please respect the fact that the day has a number of exercises that are specific to that day. If you say to me, oh, sorry, I've been busy, I've just been catching up, and you start putting in 10 different days worth or whatever has happened in the past, I won't be reading them, but I will read your stuff every single day and go through it. Whether I comment or not, isn't important. The fact you've done it, there's lots of people who are taking it in, but the fact you've done the exercise is the most important thing. So no spamming, no irrelevant stuff or ads, or I'll just delete it and probably delete you as well. Okay, stay committed. The challenge is there to get you to move forward and really up your game in the status game, your personal brand, your ability to speak, your ability to be seen by people as somebody they want to invest with. It will be difficult and it will be uncomfortable on many occasions, but I actually love that for myself. If it's challenging and I get a really good criticism from somebody, I think, well, maybe they're right. If I do something with that and fix it, then I'm going to get even more people happy. All right, no trolling or bullying or disrespectful behavior or comments of any description. I've already mentioned that. And active listening. When others share their ideas or active reading in many cases, listen and be respectful. You'd be surprised how many things you get when you watch what people are talking about. You go, that's a really good idea. And you're in a different business to mine, but I still use that in my business. All the time people are sharing gems. That's what the beauty of this community has got. We've been together over 200 people now for a couple of months, so it's a really fantastic thing. Focus on growth. Every time ask yourself a question. Being able to step backwards and look at what you have is still growth. Even if you don't change immediately, that's still growth, because you know you don't have to waste time on stuff that you thought was a problem. But I find that every single day you're a different person, because you should learn new stuff as you go. And learning and sharing is important. If you've got an insight, then please share that with the group. If you want to talk to somebody directly, share it with them directly. Don't just go, hi, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. I don't care, and everybody else in the group doesn't care. Am I being cruel? I don't think so, because there are a number of people who just want to get as much as they can out of it. And if they get distracted, then it takes a problem for them with their family and their work and their challenges and their emails and their other stuff, and they'll just leave. So keep it on point as much as you can. Stick to the tasks and don't add anything extra unless it's asked for. And lastly, enjoy the journey. This is what life is all about. Take as much and get as much out of it as you possibly can. Life is far too short, and most people spend their time just wondering, why can't I get this? When you do this and you do it effectively, you can get as much as you want. Okay, so next up, things to do each day after every single exercise. Well, things that you should be doing after every single exercise start off with this. First of all, reflect and ponder on how this insight affects you. Then apply. Put these things into test every single day. When you're doing a speech or you're working on your brand, think about the stories. I'll be going through a lot of this in the next couple of days. Integrate it, blend it, add it into your current strategy, share it with your team, experiment. Test it in a controlled setting before you put it out in the big wide world. You might find there's a couple of things you can do to make it even better or more effective before you go on with that. Feel free to discuss it. If you've got a mentor or a staff or a peer or somebody, then feel free to have a chat with them. I'm still available during these 5 days, by the way. You can book it for afterwards to have a chat if you're interested in working with me directly, or if you had a look at my upgrades and the different programs that I run, then I will happily go through any of your insights that you have here. Okay, iterate. Refine your approach based on feedback. Don't take it on the chin and go, oh my goodness, everybody hates me. Do the opposite. In fact, move your way into going, this is really interesting. I can do some great stuff with this. And that's exactly what you do. Next up, implement. Use it in real world situations. Jump and grow wings on the way down. Even if it's uncomfortable, give it a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen? People go, oh, that's good. I like that. Okay, ask people for feedback as well. Learn, observe results, and gain knowledge as you go. Okay, grow every single time from the insights that you get, and also seek help. If you are stuck and you want to be able to be better and faster, these 5 days are meant to be a taster. They're not the definitive. We have got programs that go more into depth on storytelling and lots of things like that. Now, I mentioned before, jump and grow wings on the way down. That's how I live my life. That's the one thing I would say to everybody. Make sure you do that. It means taking calculated risks, but you can't have a risk with doing this. It's a no-brainer. You just join in for 5 days for no fee at all. It's 100% free to get you to learn and grow as much as you can do. But do participate. Now, I understand for a lot of people, you're thinking, oh my goodness, Dave, participation. What if people know all my stories? What if people get to know all my secrets? They don't care. Everyone's focused on what's in it for them, I promise you. But the people who are in the group who've been there for this period of time are also interested in helping you to grow. There's enough for everybody. If we don't have an abundance mentality, then the whole world suddenly is based on scarcity, and it's not. There's enough for everybody. So do participate actively within the group. It's only 5 days. After that, we'll take a break for a whole month, and then you can catch up with me if you want some insights or you want to talk about working with me directly. Or if you don't participate inside the group, participate in your head. That still works. So there are a couple of things we should talk about. I mentioned already it's a 5-day exercise. Every single day I'll be posting something first thing in the morning, work your way through that, and I'll give you more details about signing up for the webinar, which again is free, but will be a special gift for you when you do attend live, which is what I do with all my different programs, just to make sure you're there and you don't just watch it on the replay. I stop the recording and I give you something free, and then I stop it for everybody else as well. That's how we do. Okay. So let's do it. Really excited to have you with me. So pleased you came back again. Or if you've just joined us for the first time, then welcome to the group. If you've got thoughts, comments, and anything you want to ask us a question, then feel free to do so in the WhatsApp group or wherever you are watching this particular video. I can't wait to work with you. I can't wait to help you to become an industry icon and be positioned as the very best in your industry. It's a really powerful time to do it, and I can't think of a better way to spend your life and your career than seeing how good you could possibly be. And that's about it from me. So with that being said, it's a pleasure having you with me. Let's start that incredible 5-day challenge, and I want to know your great stories. Don't post anything about it yet. You can still post your LinkedIn so people know who you are. And I mentioned earlier, I had a conversation about, should you put your name in the WhatsApp? 100% you should, because your brand needs to be there. If people have to Google who you are and then work out how tricky you've been with your names and all the rest of it, they won't bother. People haven't got the time. We've got 3-second goldfish style memory span. If it's not there and they don't see it straight away, they have no interest in chasing up and finding out where it is. So that's it for me. Look forward to starting a challenge. You rock, and it's a pleasure having you with me. All the best.